Thank you. Well, tonight we're in for a real treat to hear from an incredible person, a woman of integrity, compassion, and talent, Ann Lois Davies Romney. Born and raised in Michigan. She's the wife of 42 years to my brother Mitt, the mother of 5 children, and the grandmother of 16 children. Her father was born in Wales and was educated at General Motors Technical Institute when his siblings pooled their money together so that one of them would be able to obtain a higher education. Ann's a strong believer in that faith-based organizations can reach people that government cannot. She is a cancer and multiple sclerosis survivor. I've had the privilege of watching the courtship of Ann and my brother from before they were married through their marriage. What a wonderful relationship they have of trust, love, and faith. When she married Mitt, she raised the level of the Romney clan. She will make us all proud as a First Lady, Ann Romney.
Oh, it is so good to be in Michigan. How I look at how I got here and what a miracle it is that I'm standing here. Do you know, when I was in elementary school here in Oak Park, they put me between 2 naughty boys because I never said a word. I was so shy. And look at me now. Who would have believed it? Do you know, Scott mentioned that my father was born in Wales, and my grandfather was a Welsh coal miner. And at age 6, he started working in the coal mines. His father put him on his back, carried him to the mines in the morning, and it was his job to open the mule door for the coal that was being hauled out of those mines. And at night, his father put him back on his back. And my grandfather never saw the sun for 6 days of the week. And it was on Sunday, when they spent a lot of time in church, that he saw the sun. And I think of that, and I think of the heritage that I come from, and how my grandfather made the sacrifice to bring his family to this country for hope and opportunity, and how blessed we all are for those ancestors that sacrificed and made those decisions to come to the land of freedom. And how much of an obligation do we have now to remember them and then to continue to fight to keep this country the hope of the earth. It was 4 years ago when the nomination was clear we weren't going to get it and it was going to be John McCain's turn to carry the mantle. I turned to Mitt, and this is what I said, and I meant every word of it. I got a camera to record it. I said, I am never doing this again. Now, Mitt laughed when I said it. He said, Ann, you said that after every pregnancy. I am the mother of 5 boys. And what changed? What changed in those 4 years? And for me, it was about a year ago when we were making the decision whether we were going to do this again. And I had to think about all that we had gone through and how difficult it is, though that did not change. But I turned to Mitt and I said, if it's possible that you can win the nomination, and if it's possible that you can beat Barack Obama, this is only one thing I need you to answer me. Can you fix it? And he turned to me and he said, yes. And I'm like, that's all I need to know. I've been married to Mitt for 42 years. I've seen him in all different situations, as a husband, as a father, as a businessman, as a governor, as the guy that turned around the Olympics. And there's no one I would put my trust in more when we face such peril in this country right now as Mitt. I so believe that he is the right person to do this job right now, which is why I'm willing, after swearing I'd never do it again, that I'm willing to put myself out again. I'm going to tell you just a couple of real personal, small stories, because I know it's a long night and there are a lot of speakers, but just the more personal side of our life. Scott mentioned that I was a multiple sclerosis survivor and breast cancer survivor. It was in 1998 when I was diagnosed, and I had was doing really, really well, having, raised those 5 boys, finally feeling like I was seeing light at the end of the tunnel when I became very ill and was pretty flattened and probably thought my life was pretty much over. I was hardly able to get out of bed. And it was at that moment where Mitt showed his finest moment as a husband, where he recognized that I was going through such an emotional and difficult time. And he turned and said some things to me that really made all the difference in the world. One was, by the way, that I love you, and it doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair. I love you, and we're going to get through this together. The other thing, which was comforting on another level, was saying, I don't care if you can never make dinner again. I'm okay. I can eat cold cereal and toast, and I would like to take him up on that on occasion. But he said, look, we can face this together, and you're going to be okay. No matter what, you're going to be okay. And when he did that, it gave me permission, honestly, just to be sick. And then it also gave me permission to come out of my depression and to look at the disease and to start to fight it. And so I so appreciated a man that stands with his wife and does the right thing when it's not easy. He did it again when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And that was not as frightening to me as multiple sclerosis, however difficult that might be. It's the kind of person that I've seen him be in our whole life. When I was a young mom, I had, as you mentioned, I had 5 boys. Now, they were really naughty, and they misbehaved most of the time. They fought a lot, and they basically drove their mother crazy. And Mitt was traveling a lot at that time, and he would call home when he was traveling and hear this very exasperated wife at the other end of the phone. And he would say, hang in there. And this is the cool thing, what he would tell me. He would say, Ann, your job is more important than my job. My job is temporary. Your job brings forever happiness. The great thing was, he really meant it. And it was so wonderful to know that I had a partner and that he recognized that I was doing the really valuable work in the home. So I appreciated that and appreciated that kind of support. The other thing I need to remind you of is that now, as we're going through another difficulty, and it's another challenge that we're facing, I look across this country and I see how many people are struggling and how many people have lost their jobs and how difficult it is for Mitt and I to recognize that so many of the people we love and so many of the friends that we've had in Michigan are struggling along with the rest of you who have lost jobs in this state. We're so grateful for your governor, by the way. What a terrific job he's doing, and we are so proud of him. And he is absolutely right. We have got to take the lessons that have been learned here in this state and apply them to the country. And I say to you, why not do that with someone that actually has had the experience of turning things around? I have seen Mitt time after time with businesses turning to him and having to have him turn around companies. I have seen him time after time where people have turned to him for help when they are in trouble or crisis. I have seen him do it at the Olympics. It was an extraordinary thing for him to go and to turn around the Olympics. By the way, it's the 10-year anniversary. We're going to go out this weekend and celebrate with so many of the volunteers that served during those 17 days. But I look back on that experience and recognize that when there was something that was really in trouble, people turned to someone with experience and said, I'm going to put my trust in someone that knows how to do this and knows how to do turnarounds. I also saw Mitt do it as governor, and he was governor of a state where we when he walked in the door, the state was very much like what your governor has done here, $3 billion in debt. Without raising taxes and without borrowing money, he cut spending. And after 4 years, he left the state with a $2 billion rainy day fund. What I see as so important now is that we turn to someone with that very same experience and say, go do that to the government of the United States. We are so tired of the debts and the burdens that are being placed on us, and recognize that this country is worth fighting for. The sacrifices that brought my grandfather to this country and the blessings we've enjoyed with liberty and prosperity and freedoms, we have to make sure and preserve. And I trust that all of you will be with me in recognizing that my husband, Mitt Romney, will be a wonderful president of the United States. Thank you so much.